Hi guys, and welcome to a special reading we are doing today on the Emperor and the Empress. Right, let's get to it. There are some introduction notes here. Yes, bear with me today, alright? I just had an epiphany. No, because I'm starting by first and foremost saying this is a collective reading. Some messages may resonate with you, some may not. Take what resonate, leave behind the rest, or be just inspired, you know? Now, first I'm going to then present shortly about these two energies, and then I'm gonna get started with the reading. I went over the Emperor and the Empress, how I used them in another video on the other channel, Capri Speaks. Well, basically it wasn't actually the Emperor and the Empress, it was the feminine and the masculine energy, where I just went over as I said, the basics, how they function within ourselves in terms of setting up boundaries and asserting ourselves. It's far more complex than that, and today we are doing a reading where we are checking in with the Emperor in terms of levels of confidence, because assertiveness, confidence, motivation, setting long-term goals, that's all the masculine energy, right? It's not necessarily just the Emperor, it's also Hierophant and all that, but we're talking with the Emperor today, and with the Emperor we're asking some critical questions that can be a little bit, they can be harsh sometimes, but that's also why we have the Empress. When we are talking with the Empress, we are working on your self-esteem, right? This is confidence, this is self-esteem. Yes, there's a difference, and they are so important. This is far more related to the way we do things, in a performance-based society and all of that, and this is far more based in it's just being valued for just what you are. To do, to be, you know. So I hope that makes sense to you. I'm gonna do some shuffling while the camera is rolling, so I get the energies in here, and then we're gonna get started. Again, please be mindful that it can be a little bit harsh, especially the words from this guy, right? And that's why we are starting with him, and then we are soothing down afterwards with her. All right, because it can sometimes be a little, especially in this especially for those who can be a little bit sensitive, which it tends to be in this environment, right? I mean, if you are just keen on business and all that, then this is what you like, and then this is the hard one. I mean, this is the business, like, where are we going? Long-term goals. How will we get there? Where this is far more like passive and we don't know what we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there eventually. Let's just be. It's like, yeah, that's fine. But what about long-term goals? Welcome to the inner dialogue between the Empress and the Emperor, and it's chaos. And apparently, I'm chaos too right now. Perdona. Right, I'm gonna shuffle. You can skip ahead. We're using the archetype as clarifications, feminine and masculine energy for the collective. Those who are interested. Those who are interested. We're talking with the mother and the father energy, by the way. When we are doing this, collecting with the Emperor and the Empress, that's the mother and the father within you. Those are abstracts, meaning that it's not literally your mom and dad. Alright, I'm just gonna shuffle. These are arc energies. Alright, let's shuffle the Emperor here. What do you have for the collective? Mon Dieu. Mon lovely Empereur. Which is probably not a phrase. Or a word. Yes. I am definitely more feminine than I am masculine in many ways. Especially when it comes to the way that I communicate. Show me messages for the collective. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm gonna need to shift this down. Use my notes. Yes, I do my preparatory work before I go into this. Came out of nowhere today. No. Emperor. When we are talking with the Emperor, we are talking about, as I said, your confidence. And today we are also looking into areas where there may be fear. We are looking into the mind. We're looking into the mind, yes. To the mind of fear, blockages. To bring him into balance with his feminine. It's very common that you find a lot of readings being all about staying silent, staying in the moment. Yes, it's also very important. That's the Empress, right? Cannot neglect our Emperor. What's the Emperor? It's the ability to see long term and to bring structure so that we can deal with chaos around you, around us. But if he is not connected with his Empress, he can turn too rigid, and we can find ourselves in, you can basically have high levels of confidence and have very, very low levels of self-esteem if he is not connected to his Empress. All right. Because in a performative-based society, we are judging each other based on what we do, not who we are. That's where we have our Empress. Hello, dear. Yes, you can stay there. Yes, I seem crazy. I know. It's part of my charm. All right. With the Empress, what are we talking about here? We're talking about your self-esteem. The way you hold yourself in high regard, the way you value yourself just by being. Why is it important that we have high self-esteem, or just balanced at least? It's to make us resilient towards change. Confidence, we need confidence because confidence is rooted in trust in our ability to make decisions and then take action. And esteem is a value. We value ourselves without taking action. So in cases where nothing is moving forward, where we can't do anything, we are comfortable with just being in peace, being in silence. That's what you would often hear when you have people promoting the feminine energy, is stay in the present, be in the present moment. That's the feminine. It's the darkness, the silence. But it's not silence. Yes, it's silence, but it's still chaos, all right? Soothing. Feminine. And we are asking, what are we asking with her about today? Today we are asking just basically, where are you being judged? Where are you being harsh on yourself? Are we asking how you're being harsh on others today? Maybe not. We're looking into you. But we will see. Right? We will see. Looking into your kindness, your compassion towards yourself. This is so much better when I'm shuffling on camera. Actually, I know it takes forever, but it works better. I can feel it. Okay. Ta-da! Let's get to it with the Emperor. We're starting with him, all right? Just be prepared. Get a cup of coffee. A grape soda. And let's get started. Sorry, been doing courses today. All right, Emperor. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready? We're looking into the collective, dear, my dear Emperor. Yes, I'm conversing, okay. Let's look into your confidence. What is the state? But let's take a check up into your levels of confidence. Yeah. That's a weird answer. It's getting there. All right, we're gonna look into it. Sorry. Please bear with me today. All right. We got the Page of Cups. That is probably the weirdest position I've ever seen it in. How's your confidence? I don't know. Definitely curious, that's for sure. We're gonna look into it. Yeah. It's going to be boosted with the small tokens of gratifications for what it is that you bring, for who you are. That's cool. Alright, let's look into it. There are some questions I have not included into the collective readings when I do these on myself, right? Oh, I'm actually harsher on myself. I'm sparing you for that. So let's just see here. Where are you too critical? You know what? I'm gonna bring them both up. I mean, I'm gonna just lay him out here. Where are you being? Or other area? Where? How could you can be? How can you be too critical? How can you be too critical? Not critical. Fearful. Sorry. How can you be too fearful? Sometimes the current moment here. So that's it. That would not surprise me, the 9 of Wands. You may be a little bit fearful. And what do I mean by fear? I'm trying to avoid using the word scared. Fearful is anxious. It's yes, this bloke here standing there looking forward, not wanting to let anyone in. Because you may be tired. You've been through battles. You had to prove yourself. You already won. And then whenever you won, you faced the challenge. And you had to... They came at you again. You're tired, basically. When it comes to your confidence levels here, you are tired and you're setting up high boundaries around yourself. So I guess, though, you are... Now you're going to see here. You are actually... It's almost like you are curious in building new skills. We're going to look into this Page of Cups, but at the same time, you could be fearful in ways where you're looking out for whether or not people will bring you critique, whether they will ask you to let go almost. Ask you to let go of what it is that you already built up. Okay, we're going to throw ourselves into it, okay? Yeah, and almost like also for friends. I don't know. Friends and family. Alright, we're going to look into it in a minute. Why? Why are you fearful in this way? Guys, some of you, I gotta say it. Is there some of you guys who are falling in love with someone? I gotta ask you. Have any of you fallen? Alright. We're looking into it. Remember, these are general readings. For some of you may actually resonate far more with the feminine than with the masculine energy. But right now, I'm picking up on a masculine energy here. The Emperor within you, or within someone, who's a little bit in love. I'm not joking. The Emperor has a crush on someone. And no, this is not a fucking twin flame reading. I'm just saying, the masculine has a little bit of a crush. Alright. But at the same time, it's a crush where the masculine is also a little bit afraid of his own emotions within him. I'm gonna like look into it, right? I'm talking about masculine, feminine. This is within you. Alright, just let me lay out the cards before I stop rambling on. Alright, you know what I'm getting? Honestly. When it comes to your confidence level, it is as though your emotions are here. They are speaking up, but you may not always trust them. And what I'm getting here is that you actually in an energy where you are defensive of emotions. You're not because you're pushing them away, you are defensive against it. It's almost as though you're saying, I ain't taking no suggestions whatsoever from my heart, from my intuition. It is very important to me to use structure and logic. Whenever I have to make decisions, it's a good thing. But what it is, when it comes to your confidence, it is tied up to a Page of Cups who brings the cup. And then what you're doing is that, or the masculine here is doing the masculine within you. How the hell am I gonna phrase this? I should have thought this through better. You. I am picking up on us a union within you, right? I'm gonna say you. The masculine in you here is then pushing away your emotions. Show me this Page of Cups. Someone smoking or something like that. Ugh. Cigar. All right. It's to kiss. I don't. You know what? This is actually more difficult than I expected with you, to be honest. Your confidence is at the Page of Cups. All right, I'm gonna say it. In terms of your masculine energy, you have worked a lot of yourself, you achieved a lot of skills, and it's cool. You actually kind of cool in your masculine energy. You balance there. You know your principles, but I'm getting a little bit that you might be very much interested in understanding your emotions as well, and you feeling confident enough to allow that, but at the same time you are also fearful of it, because it's almost as though then you will have to deal with the sensations that you feel. It's almost like you don't want to be distracted by disturbances in your body, disturbances like emotions, like even if it's happiness or just, it's happiness, but it's also possible, fear that you will be hurt, because that may come with stress here. You are healed, you know your principles, but there is still sometimes a little bit of a negative emotions here within you, and they are still here. And that's why you even though you have you want to explore forms of emotions, let's say like that, you're having crushes, like that's what I'm saying. I'm getting up on a masculine that may have a crush on someone, pushing it away because they are fearful that would mean that they would have to feel, and that also shows up within yourself. I mean, to me, this shows up as typical behavior from someone who has been wounded in love, or just being disappointed. That the way of dealing with it, or the masculine here, is rather than face disappointment again, you just avoid it. It's a little bit of an avoidance here. But let's see. What kind of a mindset here? No, you know what? I'm going to go do it. How are you setting long-term goals, basically? How are you setting your long-term goals right now? You're trying to take a different approach to things here. There is, I guess, though, you, as I said, something here has been coming at you very, very quickly, possibly in the past, with a lot of passion, right? That had toxicity within it. Now you are actually doing something very, very, very brave, where you are taking a step back. You are looking at things from a different perspective. This is so important. It's a great skill that you're doing this, because you are understanding that you gotta be able to adapt to change if you gotta make it in this world, especially in the current situation that we are in now, where, because that's what the Emperor does, he looks outward, right? Where we are challenged by changes in the economy. Wherever you are, I mean, this is a global situation, guys. There are changes. How it will affect us, it depends where you live, your specific situation. But there are changes. Alright? It's also a matter, because long-term goals do not only have to be with in terms of your money. It can also be, it's about whatever brings you safety, and that can also be of emotional nature. And that's what I'm getting here. You are actually starting to be very curious about also securing long-term goals in ways that include an emotional nature to it, be it children, be it just a partner, or listening more to your intuition, but at the same time you are fearful of it, and that's because it comes with emotions. And what are emotions? They are sensations that affect our emotions of our body, and that can be felt. It's basically like being kicked in the heart, and that can affect concentration, right? And I guess though you're very much focused here on not being distracted. Sorry, I feel as though I'm going over the same thing again here, but I'm getting like a massive negotiation within oneself about should I not, should I? Show me that, what you're fearful of. You are fearful that there are aspects of yourself that you would have to face and then reject again. It's almost like, what if I allow myself to be more intuitive? What if I allow myself to be more emotional? What if I allow myself to have a crush, and then I see parts of myself that I didn't want to face, and then I have to hide it? Can I be myself? I guess though you are the masculine energy here within you, you could be very challenged in wanting to be vulnerable, to open up, to let down those high guards and give access to that beating heart that's there. But you are definitely considering it. It takes time, all right? This is the masculine energy. We gotta give him some credit for at least admitting it. Remember, it's the masculine energy within yourself. You can be a woman and be in this. So, how can you, oh God, we're only 21 minutes in. I'm terrible at this. How can you make changes to your current mindset? Equal give and take. It takes two to tango. Six of Pentacles. What you give is what you get. It has a lot to do with the way that you invest. Alright? When you give to yourself, you also get to yourself here, right? Yeah, but sorry, it's just what I'm picking up on you. The masculine here preferring to do things alone, going into the man cave, but it's actually not coming from a toxic place. It's actually coming from it's coming from the man cave, right? But if any of you have ever tried getting access into the man cave, you don't, or the female cave. What do I mean when I talk about a cave? No, I am not engaging with the traditional narrative of you buy a house together and then the woman takes over and then she banishes the man into his cave. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not even engaging with the that book, Man is Venus, Men is from Mars, Women are for Venus. I remember reading it and I wanted to burn it. Well, I didn't read it. Someone did. I looked through it, skipped it through it, and then I went straight to the source critique, like, where are the sources? And those are outdated. I don't know. There was just aspects of it that were a little bit shameful. Let's just say it like that. But maybe, I don't know. If it helps, then good. Or maybe it's just triggering. I don't know. But when I'm talking about, fuck this shit. I'm so sorry, guys. This is how I work when I'm in the flow, okay? When I'm talking about the man cave, or just a cave in general, I'm talking about that place we go to, that, first and foremost within ourselves, and it tends to be associated with a physical space where we can be ourselves. There's no one else that dictates us, right? So for instance, it's not about, it's about having that room in the house that is just yours. For instance, when we buy, let's say two people here come together as a couple and they buy a house together, they share all the rooms, so they have to continuously go compromise all the time in every room, so they can both be in it. But then there's just these one room, each of them have one room, whatever sense, that's just theirs, where they can be allowed to just be themselves, where they don't have to compromise completely. Meaning that, let's say that you are terrified of spiders, then maybe don't get a spider. Your partner is terrified of spiders, then be considerate and maybe don't get a spider. But still, it's not. You don't have to negotiate the color of the walls. You don't have to negotiate what's the function of the room. It's your room. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the cave. And it goes for both, because then we have our own autonomous space, and then we come together in the collective rooms, and then we work together here. And the same thing goes for children, right? That's their room, and then that's where they can go have peace, and then they come into the living room where we share the space. But when I'm talking about here, this is about what you can do to change your mindset is take a step back and go into that heart that you may be protecting dearly, and listen to it and give and question yourself the mechanisms of equal give and take, right? For your masculine here, it's a matter also of understanding that if you continuously find yourself in situations where you give and you give and you give and you don't get anything in return, it can create those, it can have a physical effect. That's why I'm always mindful about telling you guys about the effects of breadcrumbing. It can fuck up the reward system. And yes, that has a physical effect that can almost be felt, can feel like obsession. That is why breadcrumbing is a manipulation tactic when it is used strategically. But breadcrumbing, because it has become the norm, can actually make a person appear to be a fucking narcissist when they're not, but they're just part of a narcissistic culture, because the effect of breadcrumbing will still be the same. When it is a real, a narcissist we can label it, or we cannot. A qualified one can, if they themselves ask them to be labeled, right? Anyway, they can identify it when it is a strategic, it is a intended tactic to get someone stuck. Then we are dealing with someone who is absolutely no. But most cases, because breadcrumbing has become a norm, we're running around seeing people calling everyone a narcissist. Just personal opinion here, of course. But still, what you can change in your mindset is understanding when to withdraw when you find yourself in situations where there's not enough equal give and take from both sides. Then you will not be then you may not find yourself in situations where you can find obsession, right? Because you recognize it. You recognize the mechanisms within yourself. And then you remove yourself from the situation. It's about mindfulness, basically. Mindfulness in a sense where you actually listen to your body, and that comes in relation to your feminine energy, because you gotta listen to your body to that. The masculine is in the mind. He can only educate you, give you knowledge, but in order to listen, you gotta listen to the body, and that's what we get with the cave and the six of pentacle here. It's about also pointing the finger sometimes at oneself, not saying that, oh, it's blame. No, more in the sense of saying, how are you manifesting yourself? If you continue to give into situations where you don't really get a lot in return, maybe it's time to take a new approach. And also give yourself. Meaning that if you want something to take place, then give. Don't be afraid to give. It's okay also to take back what you give if you don't feel as though you're getting anything in return. Don't be afraid of the fault line here to crack down on reality. It's okay to try new. I am actually getting here someone who is imbalanced. This Emperor here that I'm picking up for you guys in yourself, you are in balance with your feminine. I'm actually more interested in looking into your feminine energy, because your masculine is in order. He's just a little bit timid of her, which of course he is. So, let's talk with her. Yes, we are in the house. Empress in the house. 28 minutes. This is just embarrassing. It is what it is. All right. So, how's your self-esteem working these days? How are your self-esteem these days? Let's look into you. How are you holding yourself in high regard? How are you holding yourself in high regard? Oh, what the hell is up with you guys? No, this is just the second page. I mean, come on. You're curious. Well, I'm just going to say it. If you ever were to go into that one... No, not that, but the union. No, not you. If we ever were to go and say, this is one person and this is another person, someone is getting... We're talking about two people that are crushing on each other. Because so they would absolutely in no way fall into that category of chase a runner. No. This is more like this is more like two people getting to know each other. It's actually kind of cute. and they have the opposite. It's because the Emperor has the Page of Cups and the Empress has the Page of Swords. So he has the feminine and she has the masculine. You know, they are actually in union. I so dig this. And, you know, the kisses here, which is also, you know, holding hands and coming in union. This is my holding hands, which is what I'm always talking about when I talk about how they come into union. It's like a body language associated with it. And then we have the Emperor and the Empress talking together. And me rambling. So, your self-esteem, you're curious. You're curious. You're also curious. You're curious about knowing. And that's a good meaning. That means that you are in a good place. You both. Oh God, I love this. Right, show me what's underneath here, please, please. Oh, good. Yes, I was like, please, 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 let it be good. Please don't ruin it, and it was good. I am so amazed. I mean, I am. We have the ring. You talk about you're actually starting to speak up about, oh my God, this is so amazing, within yourself, right? Within yourself, I'm giving you so much respect. Within yourself, you are starting to speak up, assert your emotional needs, and not only that, you are also starting to listen to it, meaning that you are recognizing them. You are feeling them, you are starting to put them into words, and you are recognizing them. And that is how you come into fucking union with yourself. I'm almost touched. This is this is because it's so that's what you want to see as a reader. That is really what you want to see. It just also, you know, makes me happy, because that means that it's progress, right? And yeah, I really like it. It also makes sense then why people are more interested in getting, you know, the more spiritual readings now than they are about love, and suits me perfect. I cannot. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Oh. All right, let's just look into it. Are there any ways in where you could be a little bit too critical sometimes, right? Where could you sometimes be a little bit too critical of yourself? When it comes to partnerships and the equal give and take, and then all right, of course, oh my God. I'm laughing a little bit because, you know, normally it's just one card saying, all right, but with the Empress, where can you sometimes be a little bit fearful? Comes out, of course, one card, one straightforward, being a little hesitant, wanting to protect yourself. With the feminine, where can you sometimes be a bit critical? Multiple, like, but then in one hand and then the other way, and then, you know, because this is chaos. That's how the feminine communicates, in chaos. I mean, I am all Empress right now. Well, basically every time I do readings, chaos. Unless I'm on the Geminis, then sometimes it gets like straightforward. But damn it, how many do we have? All right, Mrs. Empress. The ways in which you can sometimes be a bit too critical. The ways in which you can sometimes be a bit too critical is that, first and foremost, when it comes to your intimate relationships, the way you see eye to eye with other people, or with cats. No, with just your surroundings. The way you see eye to eye in close, intimate relationships. Even also friendships and family, right? Yes. Where they can there you can sometimes get a little bit too judgmental, because you guess what happens there. It has to do with the mechanisms of equal give and take. Which we see here with the Emperor. He also has that, right? How can he change his mindset? It comes with the equal give and take. You can be critical because you may sometimes actually demand a bit too much, meaning that maybe you were held. Maybe the reason why you can be very, very protective here of emotions is because, as I said, you do not want to find yourself in any situation where there have been forms of breadcrumbing. Therefore, you could actually be setting up high demands. But what is happening is that with the judgment is that, because this is the Empress, and the judgment, we are dealing with internal body memories, which has then become mental memories of, being breadcrumbed, and those effects which can lead to forms of obsession. It can drive you crazy, and you can find yourself in situation questioning yourself, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Am I obsessed? I've never been obsessed before. Well, not to this extent, at least. No, well, what on earth? They weren't even that special. Yeah, but breadcrumbing, guys, really, really sucks. It fucks up a reward system. And because slowly but surely, it fucks up because you shift your attention from what brings you gratification to being when you get that stupid text message, which is so fucking unreliable, right? Rather than, shifting your attention towards other aspects in life as well. So you're not sitting there and waiting for that text, or you are not waiting for, I don't know, a ring. What do people wait for? You tell me. Whatever it is that you tie all your attention up to, that's it. Or you are, for instance, waiting for that like on social media. That's that's also a breadcrumbing technique, guys. You shift all of your attention into getting that like. That's all you get. You're working only for that. You're working only for the recognition of the outside, rather than being kind of okay with what it is that you provide. It's very important to listen, I would say, to what you get from the outside, right? But it's not in ways where it's like dictating you, right? Because then when people dislike it, or you don't get the response you want, right? Then you start chasing. You chase and you chase and you chase, and you can drive yourself crazy. It's very important there for the Empress then to say, you know what, maybe it will just grow in time, or maybe I'm just not doing it because of, what other people think. Maybe I'm just doing it because, I don't know, it's a relaxing. Well, I don't know, it's up for you. But what I'm getting here, you can be sometimes big critical when it comes to how things are being given. Maybe you don't want to give because you expect more. It's almost like, yeah. Compensation. And on the other hand, you got to remember where it comes from, right? It may come from a previous situation where you gave too much and you didn't get, right? So it's that balance there. But we are getting here. You also you're afraid of like having these towers being broken down, having your reality redefined sometimes. Well, yeah. That is it. It's just so funny because the Emperor here has the Death and we have the Tower. When it comes to changes, and when I'm splitting up the feminine and the masculine, changes for the Emperor comes with the Tower. Changes for the Empress or the feminine energy comes with the Death card in terms of how they experience it. This is the breaking down of mindsets, breaking down of structures, breaking down of something from structure, order, also from external events. The Death is pain. It's the painful reaction to change from within. Even when, also just, when you're letting go, the pain of letting go. Which is also, sometimes euphoria, but I don't know. That was a complete different context. Yeah, typical. I'm so sorry for the length of it. It is what it is. So you can sometimes be critical in that, and then also in terms of probably comparing yourself or setting up goals that could be very, 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 very long term. Like you're setting up goals of saying you want that picture perfect family before you are. I don't know. Let me try and figure out an example. Let's say you are 23 and you say you want that picture perfect family when you are 25. It's in modern and you're single. Really? How realistic is that? It happens perhaps 1 out of 10,000. I don't know. It really depends. I mean, be realistic here, right? So you say, you know what, maybe because I'm talking about like having like a house and dogs and cats and at least pregnant with the first child, and then you got from 23 to 25, 2 years. There's so many variables here that are completely unrealistic. You see, setting up realistic goals, even just small goals. And then sometimes, I don't know, taking into account too much into account what your family they are expecting, or I know, some kind of a picture, perfect, ideal. That's so typical feminine here. And then when you want to take a step back here, you want to heal, you may feel as though you are not allowed to when you get tired, because you have to take care of your family, or you have, especially if you have family, then you have to take care of your family. Wow, there are so many ways in which you can sometimes be a bit harsh to yourself. First and foremost, equal give and take. And then there are situations where you, oh my God, it's almost like a balance back and forth here. Then you don't want to give too much. You don't want to give too much of yourself. And then you demand it in return. And then it's almost like, all right, then if I can't get it in any way, then I don't want it in any way. Oh my God, I let it go. I give up. But yet you can sometimes be a bit too critical. Sum it up. In ways that you are creating. It's almost like you're frustrated in the way that you are not generating anything. You can get bored. You have this creative power. That's what she has. She's always pregnant. But in getting it out there, it's almost like you are waiting for someone here to do it for you, or just come in and help you there. It's okay. Yeah, it's absolutely, I get it, wanting to, of course we want to do it together in a collaboration. I get that. But when you may find yourself, sometimes you feel as though there's nothing here you can do, or you find yourself surrounded by idiots where there's not equal give and take, and you feel judged, and then it crashes down, and then you want to go into healing, but you don't feel as though you can have the healing, and I don't know, it's just a chaos. It's just, all in all, very, very much frustration. You get triggered possibly by situations where what you bring here to the table is undervalued, and then you put up those protective guards with your masculine energy here, and when you go, sometimes you want to stay cold, but you are still listening, right? You're curious about articulating your needs now, and your masculine is curious about listening to it. And that would be the negative talk here about, I feel devalued in ways that I am creating things. And he's saying, okay, he's trying to listen, and he's probably giving to it, right? He's listening. It's your own masculine energy, but of course it could also just be a mechanism in a partnership. Right, yeah, I put them in there. How can you be kinder? How can you be kinder towards yourself? God, the feminine energy. How can you be kinder to yourself? Teamwork. When you could sometimes be a little bit guarded in terms of, wanting to or work together with other people. Well, let's see. Right, here's the thing. You can be kinder to yourself when it comes to the way that you speak your truth. If you find yourself in a situation where people are very, very guarded towards you, and the truth that you speak, or the words that you say, you feel as though someone here takes it and throws it back at you in ways that could be a little bit harsh, and you feel as though your contribution is not really appreciated. Understand that you can't do everything by yourself. Be kinder to yourself when it comes to understand that people who are, there will always be people who disagree with you. Very much a matter here about you not taking things personally and not giving up at the same time. There's also a little bit of you can be kinder to yourself also by allowing your masculine energy, your emperor, right? Your ability to look outside yourself. And to be inspired by what you see outside yourself as well. Let that voice of reason within yourself, your own voice of reason, let it flow it into the teamwork here in terms of how you speak as well, right? Be more responsive than reactive sometimes. And that if you do speak your truth and you find that the answers that you get are a little bit harsh sometimes, don't let it throw you out. But especially work together, right? I really get like listen and also contribute with your own effort here, with the feminine. All right, but be kinder, yeah. Be kinder in the way where you are not devaluing yourself with the contribution that you bring. Don't feel as though you can't create anything. Yeah, that's anything else where you can be kinder. Okay. Yeah, don't be so judgmental about yourself. Sometimes it's as though when you could possibly occasionally when trying to go into trying to take on a new mindset, stop doing, oh, I'm so stupid, I don't know anything, or I don't know. If any of you do that, please stop. Be kinder to yourself. Yeah. I'm patient. Right. Anywho, what any support here? Any supporting messages from her? Any supporting messages from her? Yeah, listen to your masculine. I cannot believe it. I just said it. Yeah, listen to the voice of reason. Trust your masculine here that he listens to you and he will take your opinion into account. It's actually the feminine here. The masculine is also guarded. Sometimes he doesn't want to listen. This is you, right? This is within yourself. He doesn't want to listen to it, to her. But when I look at you as well, if we're talking about from the feminine, why the feminine can sometimes get out of balance, it may be because she shuts out the masculine, your own inner masculine, not a masculine without, not a man or another woman, or just don't shut out your own masculine, and that is your ability to look outside yourself, like this one here, to look outside yourself, and to not give up. Know also how to set those boundaries so you don't take everything in here, but still look outside yourself. Use that voice of reason here. But at the same time, be very, very attuned to the sensations that you get from within yourself. It's not a matter of being only in your masculine thing, only looking outward, only being rational, and then shutting down for the feminine, but also be attuned to how you're responding to events that are going on here. And then, yeah, be curious. As I always see you being here, continue to be curious about this inner dialogue within yourself. You are connected, you are starting to reach out, you are enhanced, you're right, well, continue the good work is basically what I want to say. Any last messages? Oh my god, the feminine masculine here is just, it's really good because they are mirroring each other, right? Yeah, when it comes to the way you make decisions here, like just what we get here. Listen to how past experiences could sometimes be affecting the way that you may refuse to to first and foremost reach out for help, and sometimes possibly even accept advice. And also here also about letting let the past go. But understand the past is never let go completely, meaning that it's always here within you in your memories. It's always in your body memory, but it's releasing it from your focus. But if you have released it from your focus and you find yourself still making decisions in ways where you don't quite understand what the hell is going on, listen to your body then to question, are those experiences still in me, in my body? Am I being blocked because I thought I might just forgot it, but I just suppressed it? Alright, I recognize the presence over here. So just, whenever you I don't know, you get blocked in that equal give and take. You step back, meaning that how you give of yourself and how you basically how you give. Be it too much or too little. Step back here and listen. Where am I acting right now from a conditioned place, or am I actually is this the right thing to do, right? Because it's up for you to determine that. It really is. Because sometimes, yes, it may be, if you feel it's all right, I'm breadcrumbed here, I'm not accepting this, stop and leave. Because it's not, because you can also go into the other bad side of the equation, tip the scales the other way around and start shaming yourself and saying, oh, I'm just doing it from a wounded place. Find that balance there within yourself. And it can take time. But there's a curiosity. Alright, that's what I got from this one. We will do another one of these if this is relevant. Let me know if you got anything from it. And I apologize for the chit-chattiness here. The sun is shining, okay? It's almost weekend. I'm happy. So that's just how it is. So let me know, and if you want me to do another one event someday or another. Take care, ciao.